Right. So in terms of monopoly, we'll start with monopoly. All right, let's start with oligopoly. What is oligopoly?
Oligopoly is when uh, okay, is when there are many like competitors. That's what I think.
There are fewer companies,
Or few companies.
dominating the market.
Yes.
That is oligopoly. Few companies dominating the market. Here, we can take, for instance, the baking industry. There was bakers in at my time. There was bakers in. There was Lopez. There was another company from Maswingo. What is that company name? The other competitor for that bakes bread.
There's Lobels. There's Beckerson Proton.
Yeah, I want Proton. The Maswingo Mtare company. Proton. So there was bakers in. There was Lopez. There was Proton. Proton came in late, right?
Yes.
So we can safely say those are oligopoly. They are oligopoly because there are few companies dominating the bread industry. Do you see that?
Yes.
So those companies, they can or they cannot, they can compete on the price. The last time when I was there, the price was for one loaf of bread was $1. I'm not sure how much now is Zik. But what I know is those companies were not competing on the price, whereby, let's say, Lopez will say, our bread is 90 cents, whereas Proton's bread is $1. And maybe Insco's bread is what? Is $1.20. They cannot compete on that, because if they compete on that, it means customers will shift and buy from the what? From the company that has got its what? That has got the lower price. If that happens, it means the other companies in the oligopoly will also reduce their prices, right? So if all those companies, let's say those three that we have mentioned, reduces their prices, let's say to 90 cents, what will happen? What will happen? What will happen? It means all those three companies will see a reduction in their revenue, will also see a reduction in their profits, right?
Yes.
So in an oligopoly, they can try to compete with price, which we call price wars, but in an oligopoly, price, it doesn't, most of the times, they do not compete in terms of the price. Most of the times, they compete in terms of advertising, in terms of the brand. For instance, Proton, I think, found it difficult to penetrate because a lot of people were used to say, I am buying a Lopez bread. Every time when you get into a supermarket, you want to buy a Lopez bread. Because Lopez was the first company that everyone knew and loved. Bakers Inn was also a bigger company.
Yes.
So in those situations, they can only compete in terms of the product quality, in terms of advertising, right?
Yes.
Because if they compete in terms of price, all the companies in the oligopoly, they will lose out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then again, in an oligopoly, companies are tempted to collude. So let us put a different characteristics here that I was saying. We can have price competition, but the problem, all companies stands to lose.
Okay.
The competition that is there is non-price competition. That is the competition that is there. They should compete in terms of the brand awareness, advertising, and stuff like that. The other issue that they can do, there is a temptation to collude. What do I mean by temptation to collude? Let's just put, for instance, the issue of fuel. You see the fuel industry. The fuel industry.
Yes.
The fuel industry. One garage cannot wake up in the morning and say 1 liter is 1 liter of petrol is $2, right? Those guys, they communicate. So when we go to Total, when we go to the other filling station, you see the price is the same. So when they also want to raise the prices, they communicate and also increase the prices, all of them at once, so that everyone stands a chance to what? To benefit. Because if others increase the price, but the other ones reduces their price, it means customers will go to the ones that reduces the price. And in the short run, the one who has reduced the price will stand to benefit before the others notice that the other one has reduced the price and also reduce their prices as well. So if they also follow and reduce their prices, the whole companies in the oligopoly will stand to lose. So what I was simply saying, there is a temptation to collude to say, no, guys, let us fix the prices. But the government sometimes intervene in the prices. You remember a situation whereby there was that policy of price slashing.
Yes.
Where people were getting into the supermarket and say, this 10 kgs of rice is supposed to be this much, sell it this much. That is the government intervening in what? In companies that collude.
Okay.
Then I also talked about the incentive to cheat. Even if companies in the oligopoly fix the price, let's say of bread at $1, there is one company who is what? Who will have an incentive to cheat, say, let us reduce our price before the other companies in the oligopoly what? Realize and gain those profits before what? The other companies what? Reduce their price as well.
Okay.
So now before we draw a diagram, here, we need to know elasticity and inelasticity. What is this?
Elasticity.
Right. Let's continue there. Let's continue. I think the problem that we have here, we only started this late, but anyway, we'll cover a few. We'll cover
but
what
I'll
we
also
can cover.
look into the
The
test paper
notes.
and cover it. Yes, the
Yes.
notes and the test papers.
So normally the simple graphs will have a quantity here on the horizontal axis. We'll have a price on the vertical axis, right?
Yes.
So we have diagrams like this. What is this diagram that I have just drawn there?
It's a graph.
Is it a supply or demand graph?
It's a demand. It's a supply.
It's a supply. Why is
Okay.
it a supply graph there? Remember, for you to be able to supply more, it means the price has to be high, right?
Yes.
If the price is low, you don't want to supply more. For instance, let's say if bread is 50 cents, you don't have the incentive to supply more bread
Yes.
because you will not get much profit. But let's assume the price is $20. What will be the incentive? Everyone will go into the market to supply bread. You see a lot of bakeries mushrooming, right?
Yes.
Let's take, for instance, there is this thing of chicken farming where people keep chickens for meat or keep chickens for eggs. Suppose the chicken now turns to be $30. Even you will want to go and keep chickens, right?
Yes.
Because you will see now there is what? More price. So the price will high. Now I will get what? More profit. So this works this way. If the price is low here, the producers will want to supply less. But if the price, let's say, if the price is high here, this is the quantity supplied, this is the price. So the suppliers will want to supply more because the price is high. Do you see that?
Yes.
But if the price is low here, the suppliers will want to supply less because they are not making a giant profit or something like that. So this is the supply curve. You should know that that one is the supply curve.
Okay.
Right. We have the demand curve. This is the demand curve.
Okay.
What happens on the demand? If bread is set, let's say, at 30 cents, right?
Yes.
Everyone will not resort to eating mtakura and stuff like that. Everyone will want to buy bread, right?
Yes.
Because the bread is cheaper. So which means the demand will be high if the price
Yes.
is low.
It's low.
If bread now tends to be $10 each, demand will be what? This is the quantity demanded. Demand will be low because fewer people will afford to what? To buy bread at $10. People will resort back to sweet potatoes and stuff and mtakura, stuff like that. Do you see that?
Yes.
So we simply say demand curve is what the relationship with demand and price. It's inverse. If the price go up, demand goes down. If the price go
Yes.
down, demand goes up. There's an inverse relationship between what is demanded and the price charged. Right?
Okay. Yes.
Take note of that. Now, there may be some factors that affect the demand curve. Let's just finish up the demand curve. there may be some factors that affect the demand curve.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen that when the price change, either the demand will go up or the demand will go down, right? But the demand
Yes.
curve will not shift. There is something called shifting in demand curve. The demand curve will not shift.
Mm-hmm.
The demand curve will shift when they are with factors that are other than price. Demand curve only shift when it's affected with other factors that are not price. Before we can even go there, what is demand?
Demand is the like what the customer wants, like market demand, whereby if we are producing something, we determine the demand by how many people are coming for that product.
Right, in economics, we have got strict definitions there. In economics, we have got
Okay.
strict definitions there. So in terms of demand, we define it. Let me just write it down to make it this thing interactive. Demand, we are simply saying the quantity of a good or service consumers are willing and able. Because if you are willing and you are not able, it doesn't mean anything. Willing and able to buy at a given price in a given period. That is demand. What
All right.
consumers are willing and able. Because if let's say you are willing to buy a car, but you are not able to buy a car, that is not demand.
Yes.
Demand, you should be willing and able. You want to buy bread and you have got $1. So that is demand because you are willing and you are also able to buy.
Okay.
At a given price, at a given period. That is demand.
Mm-hmm.
We simply said, if there is a change in price, suppose this is price number 1, price 1, this is quantity 1 demanded. If the price reduces to price 2, quantity demanded will increase. Do you see? From quantity 1 to, if we drop the price, quantity will increase.
Mm.
If we increase the price,
Quantity will decrease.
Quantity will demanded will decrease because people now are not able to buy.
Demand is.
So then we have got things that shift the demand curve. The demand curve can shift outwards this side. This is called increase in the demand. Demand can shift this side like this. Right?
Okay. Yes.
So if the demand is shifting outwards like this is an increase in demand. Why am I saying this is an increase in demand? I am saying this is an increase in demand. Let's take, for instance, price 1 here. Do you see price 1 here?
Yes.
If we extend this line, do you see that in price 1, the demand is now more? Do you see?
Yes. Yes.
So this is an increase in what?
In demand.
In demand. If again, let's extend this graph here. If we are simply on price 1 again, but on this graph here, let's say this is D0, this is D1, this is D2. So if we are here again on price 1, you see the demand is what is now here. Do you see
Okay.
that? So this is a decrease
Yes.
in demand. So what causes the graph to go this side, and also what causes this demand graph to grow this side? We have got few factors that causes that. We have got the population. If there is increase in
Okay.
population, for example, there might
Mm.
be an increase in the demand for bread, right?
Yes.
But if there is a decrease in population, there should be also a decrease in bread.
Okay.
Again, another factor might be, this is population. Another factor might be advertising.
Mm-hmm.
If we advertise more, obviously there will be more demand, right? This has nothing to do with
Yes.
change. All these two factors have got nothing to do with changing the price of bread. Then if we do not advertise, there will not be demand. Then we have got substitute prices. What is a substitute?
Something that replaces the original
Yes.
price.
For instance, bread, let's assume rice is a substitute and flour is a substitute, right?
Mm.
If bread, its price goes up, and
Mm.
let's say not if the price, if the flour's price goes down, people will run away from
Mm.
buying bread and buy flour. And also, if rice price goes down, people will run away from buying what? Bread and buy rice instead. Do you see that?
Yes.
So this did not affect the price for bread, but the price for the substitute determines whether people buy the product or not buy the product. For instance, if the price for flour goes down, people will run away and buy what? Flour instead of rice. So the demand will shift this side. But if flour and rice price goes up, people will run away from them and buy bread instead. So demand for bread will go high.
Okay.
We've got income levels. If people get salary increases and cost of living adjustments, there are salary increases and cost of living adjustments, people will tend to buy more, right?
Yes.
We have got fashion and tastes. This might not apply to this one. We have got interest rates. Interest rates affects bigger products like cars. People tend to borrow bank loans to buy cars. So if if banks are charging higher interest rates, people will not borrow to buy cars, right?
Yes.
Then we have got complement. Complement is price. What is a complement?
A compliment. Compliment.
We have got the good example is the razor and the razor blade, right?
Yes.
If our product is the razor blade, is the razor, razor. There is a razor and the razor. For shaving, you have got the razor and you have got the razor and you put those blades there. So
Yes.
if one of them goes, the price of it, the other goes up, it means it will affect this number of what other the number of demand of the other product. If this was not a good example, we've got a good example of printers. Our product is the printer, the complement is the cartridge, right?
Yes.
If the price of the cartridge goes up, the demand for printers will go down, right?
Yes.
That's the complement. Complement is the product that works together
That,
with our product. Our product cannot work without that product.
okay.
So all these, they are just factors that affect the demand. Let's quickly move on to the supply. What is supply?
Okay. Supply.
We have got the same definition. What is the supply?
Is what the producers are able to produce for,
Are willing,
are willing and able to
yes,
produce at a given price
price
and
in a,
quantity.
yes, are willing and able to produce at a given price in a given period. That's the definition there. We have already drawn the supply curve, and you know it. If the price is high, supply should be high. So the quantity supplied and the price charged per the product, they are what? The relationship is what is direct. If the price charged for the product is high, supply will also be high. If price charged is low, suppliers will also not be willing to supply more, right?
All right.
Then what causes now the supply curve again? Let's just wrap this one and put our supply curve here. The supply curve is like that. When the price is low, the supply is also low. When the price is high, the supply is also high. The supply curve can shift here. Let's say this is S0, S0. This can be S1. This can be S2. The supply curve can go this side. The supply curve can shift this side. My question is, which graph here shows the increase in supply? S1 or S2?
S1.
That's the increase in supply. Right?
Yes.
Right? Let's see. Right. Let me extend my graphs like this, like that. Right. If the price is here, I want to take the price that is, if the price is here, on S0, what is willing to be supplied is this one. Right?
Okay. Mm.
If the graph shifts to S1, do you see now where this intersects?
Yes.
So there is a decrease in what? This is a decrease in supply. Do you see that?
Okay. Yes.
That one is a decrease in. So it's not the same as on demand. The demand, the top one is increase, but on supply, the top one is decrease. Do you see?
All right. Yes.
Let's extend again here. It will meet there. Do you see here?
Mm-hmm.
So the quantity supplied will be Q2 here. So this one is the bottom one is the increase in supply. Do you see that one?
Yes. Yeah,
So,
okay. Yes.
so supply is like an inverse. The bottom graph is the increase in supply. The top graph is the decrease in supply. Whereas on demand, the top graph is the increase. The bottom graph is the decrease. Take note of that.
All right.
So now, what factors causes this? The change in supply. What factors causes this change in supply? I will not be exhaustive here. Some of
Okay.
them we've got the cost of production.
Okay.
If the cost of producing one product goes up, obviously the supply will decrease, right?
Yes.
If the cost of production goes down, the supply will increase. We've got technological changes. Let me say technology. We have got technology. Technology usually affects the cost of production, right?
Yes.
If we implement technology, it means we will cut on the cost of production, so we will supply more. But if we don't employ technology, it means our cost of production will be high.
Okay.
Right? I will just stop there. Now you have got a simple understanding on these graphs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, I want to ask to have this elastic and inelastic.
Okay.
When we change, this usually happens on demand. When we change the price, let's say when we increase the price, we are expecting a proportional decrease in demand, right?
Yes.
Let's have this. This is quantity, this is price. We have got our demand curve like that. If our price is here, if we reduce our price to here, let's say this was P0, it's now P1. This was Q0, it's now Q1. So I am simply saying this distance here is proportionate to this distance. Do you see that? They are almost the same.
Yes.
So this is called
Yes.
what? This is called elastic. If the price changes,
All right.
it affects directly the demand. This is called
Okay.
elastic. Right. I want to use again the same graph if I can. Do you see that graph? That is my demand curve again.
Mm-hmm.
If the price is here, this is my P0, this is my Q0. I reduce the price to here. This is now my Q1. This is now my P1. Do you see the reduction in price is more than the increase in demand? Do you see that?
Yes.
So this is what is inelastic, because
Okay.
the change in demand is not all is not all explained by the decrease in price.
Okay.
So here we decrease the price, but the demand didn't change much. We can say it didn't change. We decrease the price, but the demand didn't change. For instance, let's say we have got 10 people, the population is 10, we have got 10 people who are buying bread. They are buying
Yes.
bread every day. Then we decrease the price. We also have demand as 10, right?
Yes.
So it will not change much because of the change in demand. So we can simply say those are inelastic. Some of the products that are inelastic, we are talking about the luxury products. Luxury products, they are not the necessities. Those ones, even if you change the price, people will still buy them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say, for instance, fish and chips, they are luxury products, for instance. Even if the price changes, consumers, when schools open, they will buy those chips and fish for their children when they are going to their boardings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if the price goes up, the demand will still be there. The demand will not fall, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it will be inelastic.
All right.
Right. So with that in mind, now let us draw the oligopoly graph using the king. We are drawing what is called a kinked graph. That is our demand. Sometimes we call it average revenue there. That is our demand there. So this explains what I was simply saying about the bread.
Okay.
There is no point reducing the price of bread below $1. Let's suppose this is $1. There is no point
Mm-hmm.
reducing bread to $1, right? Because if we reduce bread
Yes.
to $1, you will not attract as much demand from the customers,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the loss that you will
Yes.
get by reducing the price will not be compensated by the increase in demand. And again, the competitors, when they realize, they will also reduce their prices. And again, on the oligopoly, you do not have an incentive to increase the price from $1, because if you increase the price from $1, the demand will definitely decrease, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the demand, if you increase your bread to $2, customers will now go to your competitors in that oligopoly. Like those three companies, if Proton increases the price for bread, consumers will go and search for bread which is $1. So the demand for Proton bread will decrease if Proton increases the price.
Okay.
So in a nutshell, that is the graph for oligopoly. There, we call that a kinked graph.
Okay.
We call that a kinked graph. So most of the things that you need to know here is what is an oligopoly and why it is there. Oligopoly, we simply say there are few firms dominating the market, right?
Yes.
Why are there few firms dominating the market? There are few firms dominating the market because there are high barriers of what?
Of new entry.
There are high barriers of entry or exit.
Okay.
So no companies are entering this market. We have got Lobels, Bakers in and Proton. No companies are entering this market because there are high barriers of entry. High barriers of entry means maybe to purchase a what? The baking machine or something like that. I don't know. The ovens and the fridges and stuff like that is too high. Do you see what I mean? I mean the trucks, the delivery trucks. So
Yes.
the capital that is required for you to open your own bakery is what? Is high. So this will be a
Okay.
barrier. This will be a barrier of entry, right?
Yes.
So the barrier of entry will mean those who are already in the industry, they will remain fewer. So that is an oligopoly. They will remain few because no new competitors will be coming into that market, right?
Yes.
Then barriers now to exit. You are Proton now, you want to leave this baking market, maybe go to farming. No one will be willing to purchase your machinery and your delivery trucks. Maybe there are some retrenchment costs that you need to pay. Do you see what I mean? Your employees. So that barrier of exit, it means you will remain there. But if you are able to exit, if the companies are able to exit, maybe let's say Proton exits and Bakers in exits, what will be left will be Lobels, right? If Lobels is the one left, it's no longer an oligopoly, but it's now a what?
A monopoly.
Great stuff. So high barriers of entry and exit means that the oligopoly will remain there, right?
Yes.
Right. I'm not exhaustive here. Like I said, I'm just brushing the surface. You will add the
Yes.
flesh. You will just add the
Yes, I
flesh.
will.
Now let
I
us
will.
move on to monopoly. Monopoly, we simply say there is one seller in town. That's what we can say, right?
Yes, like Zesa.
Yes, one seller dominating the market. We've got Zesa, one seller dominating the market. So this one seller can detect everything, right? This seller can detect the price. This seller can do anything that he wants. So that is a monopoly. But again, on monopoly, we can extend here and say there may be few companies like in oligopoly, but there is one big company which is a price setter, right? So this one company, which is a price setter, it will have what is called a monopoly power. I'm not sure whether it's the case now. There was a big company called BOC Gases.
Okay.
BOC, used to sell gas, those gases, those gas stoves, gas for welding and stuff like that. So the prices, most of the prices were for gas, those smaller companies who sold gas, they were first to what, to check whether how much BOC is selling their gases before they fix their own price. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Then I want to think about another example in an industry where there are a lot of big industries, but there is one bigger industry that what sets the tone, sets the price. That bigger industry might be setting the prices lower. So for you, as the other fewer companies that are there, you are now have to follow suit. What you need to do, you only need to try and reduce your production costs so that you match the price that is set by the company that is bigger, is the price setter. The other companies that will be there will also be called the price. Let me write somewhere. They will be called the price takers, because they will be taking the price that is set by this big company and work back to reduce their costs so that they make a profit.
Okay.
Again, here on Monopoly, I will also put, let's say Monopoly is one company in town who have high barriers of entry or exit, right? Who can who can enter into the electricity supply?
No one.
No one, because ZESA owns everything, owns the transformers,
Yes.
owns the lines, owns almost everything. Maybe owns some of the turbines that are there in Zambezi, in Kariba, there and stuff like that. Maybe because coal, we cannot talk about coal, power from coal, because from Wange Colliery, because it's insignificant.
Yes.
Then we have got the internet space. Internet space, again, there is high barriers of entry. Internet space, the internet service providers. Of late, there is Starlink, right?
Yes.
Starlink now is the price setter. Am I right?
Yes.
Because Starlink came in and reduced the prices. Now wants to prove to be bigger, but they were competitors who were already there. We had the Zim Online. Now it's called what? Liquid Talon.
Yes.
Liquid something. Then there was Tel One. There was M-Web, which we now call Tande Mtande. There was Econet. We know Econet is very expensive, right?
Yes.
There is this one, I'm not sure whether it's now live. Then there is Net One, like that. But the major ones here was this one and that one. I'm missing the other one that is also powered by ZESA. There was PowerTel. But the major one was this one. In fact, before everything, the one that started was Tel One. Zim Online or Liquid Tail came on. Then there was PowerTel. Then there was M-Web. Then these ones, they don't have fiber. They are mobile data. But this Starlink now came. So here, what can we say about these few companies? This was an oligopoly, right?
Yes.
Because there are fewer companies so in the market. So this was oligopoly again. But in this oligopoly now, there is one company now. We have got monopolistic power now because this one came in and reduced the prices. So everyone here now is now following this one. They are now following Starlink to reduce their prices. Zim Online, which is Liquidtail, also reduced their prices. PowerTel forced to do that. Tail One forced to do that.
Yes.
Do you see the picture there?
Yes.
Then let me now, before I draw the graph, because I want to draw this monopoly graph later, but the problem with the monopoly graph, there are too many things there on the graph that I will not be able to cover all of it today. I want to
No, it's
apologize.
fine.
I want to apologize in time because there are a lot of graphs that I will not be able to explain today. So,
It's okay. I just need the basic stuff. I think
okay,
you just mark the basic things.
that's what I'm trying to do so that you will add flesh
Okay.
there. Right.
Yes.
So, let us see something. Right. I want us to do that question 3, but let me drive this here. Now I want to explain the concept of marginal revenue. We've got something like marginal revenue. We've got something like marginal what? These are not the same thing. Marginal revenue and marginal cost, these are not the same things. But we have got marginal revenue. We've got marginal what? Cost.
Cost.
Right. We also have got graphs. We also have got graphs for that.
Okay.
Let us do this. We have got our price P. We have our quantity. We have got our total revenue. We have got our marginal revenue. We have got average revenue. So this will be P, this will be Q, TR, MR, AR. Suppose we've got our prices there in dollars 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 dollar. Right. If we set bread at $10, one person will buy, right? If we reduce the price to $9, 2 people will buy. If we reduce the price to 8, 3 people will buy. If we reduce the price to 7, 4 people will buy. If we reduce the price to 6, 5 people will buy. If we reduce the price to 5, 6 people will buy. Reduce the price to 4, 7, you now know the pattern there. So when we know when we reduce the price, demand will increases, right?
Buy.
Yes. If we reduce the price, demand will increase. So now let us check the total revenue. Total revenue simply means price times quantity, right?
Yes.
10 times 1, we get 10. 9 times 2, we get 18. This we get 24, we get 28, we get 30, we get 30, we get 28, we get 24, we get 18, we get 10. What is happening here? We'll draw this graph for total revenue. As you can see, our revenue will increase up to a certain point, right? Then we decrease. So which means if we are reducing price, our total revenue will be increasing up to a certain point. When we now increase the price, our revenue will start to decrease, right?
Yes.
So now there is this term marginal revenue. Marginal revenue simply means the difference in revenue. For instance, if our price was 10, we sold 1 unit. So we also got 10 as revenue there. The formula for this, there are a lot of formulas there for marginal revenue. The formula for marginal revenue there, it will be change in total revenue over change in quantity.
Okay.
That will be the formula there. So change in total revenue is 10. The quantity is 1. The quantity is 1. So we get that. Then the change here now from 10 to 18, revenue increased by 8, right? From 24 to 18, revenue increased by 6. From 24 to 28, revenue increased by 4. From 28 to 30, revenue increased by 2. From 30 to 30, revenue increased by 0. From 30 to 28, revenue is now decreasing. Do you see that?
Yes.
So that is the marginal revenue concept there.
Okay.
The average revenue concept simply means total revenue over quantity. Total revenue over quantity will get the same values as 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So now we want to plot the graphs for marginal revenue and average revenue. Average revenue is also called demand. So average is also called demand curve. So these two, as you can see, this one is decreasing. Again, this one is decreasing, right? This one is decreasing, this one is decreasing. So these graphs will be like this. This will be our normal demand, AR, average revenue, or demand. Then you see they are starting at the same point, 10, 10 there. But this one, marginal revenue is decreasing at a faster rate. Do you see? 8, 6.
Yes.
So it's decreasing at a faster rate and ending up at a loss. At a loss, it means below quantity. So this one will go something like this. Do you see that? This will be the marginal revenue. This is decreasing at a faster rate than the other one. Now, we need again to plot the total revenue. Total revenue is maximized when marginal revenue curve reaches the 0 point. Here, where we have got 0 there, that's where we have got our maximum revenue. Do you see that?
All right, yes.
If marginal revenue is 0, it touches the quantity axis, it's 0, because this is 0. Then it means our total revenue is more. So the total revenue graph, we'll put it here. This is our quantity. This is our price. So that same point where marginal revenue is reaches the x-axis is 0, that's where our revenue is maximized. Suppose this maximum here is $30 there. So our graph will look something like this. Sorry. Will look something like this. Do you see that? Let's say this is the middle point. It will start increasing. When it reaches that marginal line there, where it's 0 there, our total revenue will start to decrease.
Okay.
Then now, same way how we worked the marginal revenue and average revenue, that's the same way that we can work marginal cost and average cost, right?
Yes.
That's the same way we can work average cost and marginal cost. So I have no space now, so allow me to delete that. Right, so going back to Monopoly. We have got our quantity. We've got our price. We will have average revenue and marginal revenue again. This will be average revenue, which you also call it demand. We will have our marginal revenue. It's declining faster than average revenue, right?
Yes.
In this graph, we will have marginal cost. Marginal cost looks something like this. That will be our marginal cost. Then we also have got average costs, which looks something like this. We might also have total cost, which looks something like this. I don't want to put it now here. We might have something like that. So these are the graphs that we might have. Profit is maximized when our marginal cost and marginal revenue meets each other there. So that is the perfect spot. So from there, we will need to determine how much will be the quantity demanded on that price. Let's just call it there Q0. How much will be the price charged at that particular point by the monopoly.
Okay.
That will be P0 there. Then you will now ask me, where is the profit that is made? This diagram should also show the profit that is made. The profit that is made should be between that price O and the average cost. The average cost graph, it meets that line here. Do you see that line there?
Yes.
So above this line there, that's where we call this the super normal profits.
Okay.
This is our monopoly graph. This is our monopoly graph. Lines that are not explained today, that are your assignment: average cost, and marginal cost. All other lines there I have explained.
Yes.
Then now,
Okay.
with that in mind, let's go here and finish up with this. Right, before we go there, we might have, there is something called an equilibrium point. What is that?
Where the x-axis meets the y-axis.
Equilibrium point. Like I said, don't worry. You are going to get the quantity price. We have got the supply curve. We've got the demand curve. Where these two lines meet, this is called the equilibrium point. Where these two lines meet, this is the equilibrium quantity. This is the equilibrium price, right?
Yes.
What? Right. If suppliers charges price 1 here, price 1 is here, supply 1 is here. So if suppliers charges price 1, suppliers are willing to supply this amount, right?
Okay. Yes.
Customers are willing to buy this quantity. Do you see the quantity that is supplied and the quantity that is demanded? The quantity that is supplied is more than the quantity that is demanded, right?
Yes.
So the difference between this quantity and this quantity, we now have got a surplus in the market, because quantities supplied is more than the quantities that is purchased, quantity that is demanded. So we've got a surplus, right?
Yes.
Now, if we have got a surplus, what will happen? If we cannot sell all of our products, what should we do?
If we cannot sell all of our products.
We reduce the price.
Yes.
We reduce the price. If we cannot sell off all of our products, we reduce the price so that our products will sell off, right?
Yes.
If we reduce our product, demand will also increase, right? Until a point which is called equilibrium point.
Okay.
For instance, if we sell our bread at $2, fewer people we will be tempted to supply more bread, but fewer people will be able to purchase bread. So we'll be forced to reduce to reduce our price until at equilibrium point, until dollar, if dollar is the equilibrium price, where
Okay.
the demand will be exactly as how much we are supplying.
Mm.
Do you see that?
Yes.
Right. If if the price is reduced to, maybe by the government, to price 2 here, do you see the point there on supply? Do you see the point there on demand?
Yes.
If the government reduces the price to P2 there, the demand will be high, but the suppliers will not be willing to supply, right?
Yes.
This will force the price up. So when forcing the price
Okay.
up, it will reduce the demand
Demand.
until the equilibrium point.
Okay.
So this one, where the price at P2, the demand is more, the supply is less, this gap, we call it a shortage. Because
All
people
right.
are demanding more bread. There are queues. You know, when there are queues, there were queues for sugar at some point.
Yes.
So it means, what was happening there? The price for sugar was low.
Was low. So the
So,
demand was high.
yes. So to mitigate that, we have to increase the price so that the demand will be steady at the equilibrium price, right?
Yes.
So if the price is low, it creates a shortage because the demand will be high, supply will be low. If the price is high, it creates a surplus because a lot of people will be willing to supply, but there will be few people to buy, right? Right. I hope you are happy then. Then now let
Yeah.
us answer question 4 here.
Okay.
Given the following data, draw a demand supply curve. I will not draw the demand supply curve. I've already drawn these curves for quite some time here,
Yes.
right? Right. So
Yes.
now describe the situation in price 1. You see the price in dollar there.
Yes.
Demand is 8, supply is 3. Demand is 8, supply is 3. So what is the description there? What is the description there?
Okay. So the price is low is 1. So that means the demand is high, and
The
then
supply
but
is
the
low.
supply is now low.
So there is a shortage. That's what I
There's a
wanted you to say.
shortage.
That's what I wanted you to
Okay.
say. Yes, that's what I wanted you to say. There is a shortage. The price is low. So the demand is high. The supply is low. So there is a shortage in the market
Yes.
because the demand is higher than the supply. So there is a shortage.
Okay. Okay.
Then we have got price 2 here. Price 2 here, demand is 6, supply is 6. What is this?
It's an
This is an equilibrium point.
equilibrium.
As
Yes.
simple as that. That's what I want you to say only. Then
Okay.
we have got price 4. Demand is 2, supply is 12. So what is this?
It's a surplus.
It's a surplus because the price is higher, people are fewer that are demanding, but the suppliers are supplying
Demanding.
more. So there is
Yes.
a surplus there.
There's a
Do you
surplus
see
of,
that?
yes.
Do you see that this is not hard?
It's not even.
It's not even high. As long as you know this is not even
Yes.
hard, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Right. Let's finish off with this one. This is Q. This is P. This is same as MR. This is AR. We have done this, right?
Yes.
To complete this, look at the mark allocation.
9
Let us
marks.
only to complete. So this here we've got 0, 0. Here we have got 7. 18 minus 7, how much? Where's my calculator?
18 minus 7.
18 minus 7, we've got 11. 31
11.
minus 18, we've got 13. 42 minus 31, we have got 11. 50 minus 42, we have got 8. 56 minus 50, we have got 6. 59 minus 56, we have got 3. 60 minus 59, we have got 1. Do you see that we did something like, do you see that we did something like this?
Yes, we did a table. Yes, I drew it.
So is this hard? So now we have got 4.5 marks. We have got 4.5 marks, and you know this curve is the one that is diminishing faster than the other one. Do you remember that?
Yes.
It's this one that is
The
reducing
marginal.
more than this one.
Yes.
Now this one is easy now. Average, we simply say 7 divided by 1, it's 7. 11 divided by, not 11, sorry. 18 divided by 2,
divided by
that is
2,
9.
9.
31 divided by 3, 10 point something. Let me put my calculator to one decimal place. 10.3. 42 divided by 4, 10.5. 50 divided by 5, we have got 10. 56 divided by 6, 9.3. 59 divided by 7, we've got 8.4. 60 divided by 8, we've got 7.5. Is that hard?
No, it's not.
You get yourself 9 marks for doing that.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking, these are the marks that you should be getting.
Yes.
Right. Our time has come to an end, but do you see that? Do you see that this question 1 is a monopoly question?
Yes.
This is the marginal cost curve. This is the average cost curve. This is the total cost curve. Which curves are missing? Which curves are missing here? We are missing these ones. Where are they? We are missing the average revenue, which is demand and marginal revenue. You have got 1, 2, and the other one that I simply said I don't want to draw it, the total cost there.
All right.
So everything is easy here. Let's just go back here. We call this law of diminishing returns. When we added 1 employee, we produced 7 units. When there were 2 employees, we managed to produce 18. When there were 3, we managed to produce 31. But when there were 4, we are now producing 42. But if we divide that, you see, we are now reducing. The marginal revenue is reducing. Do you see that? So here, that is where the diminishing returns start. Because that is our starting of decreasing. That is here where the diminishing return starts. So on the graph, oh, I don't have that total graph there. On the graph there, we had a total graph like this one, where we had marginal revenue there, where here marginal revenue reaches this 0 point, it was this point. So from here up to there, marginal revenue will be increasing, total revenue will be increasing. But from this point going down, that is called diminishing returns. We are now diminishing. We are now what? Losing out. Our total revenue is now what? Reducing. That is the law of diminishing returns there. It kicks on the fourth employee. Why is it kicking on the fourth employee? Suppose here we were a bakery. Maybe we had got 3 ovens. If we employ the fourth employee will not have the oven, right?
Yes.
You will have to substitute one of these ones when one of these are tired. That's why they are now producing less when they are 4. That's why everything is now diminishing. If there are 5, we still have got 3 ovens. Do you see that? They have to wait for each other.
Yes.
So the diminishing returns, there is something called here variable resources and fixed resources. Variable resources, we are talking about the number of employees. You can employ as many as possible. But fixed employees here, fixed resources, we are now talking about ovens. If you have got 3 ovens, if we hire 10 bakeries, or if we have got 10 stoves, and we hire 12 cooks, it means our production will not increase because the number of stoves are very few. That is called the fixed resources there. So if we hire more than our fixed resources, that's where the diminishing returns will start to kick in.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you for what?